Overcoming Resistance, A Guide to Regaining Your Creative Energy. By N. Seekin Simon. Introduction. The world is a busy place where many things happen simultaneously. Sometimes, focusing on a single goal can be challenging when several signals fly around all day. The truth is that everything is fighting for your attention, from your cute pet to your neighbor around the block, to YouTube, Instagram, and all other social networks. Your mind can only focus on a few things at a time to perform at its optimal best. The more intense your focus, the better you can develop an idea or carry out a task effectively. You have picked up this book because you consciously want to improve your level of focus and feel more in control of your life in general. When you can consciously direct your focus onto something, you immediately unlock your God mode level of productivity. Thankfully you bought this book. In the following chapters, I will show you how to overcome resistance and live a productive life. Cheers. N. Seekin Simon. Chapter 1. What is resistance? From the first moment I thought of writing this book, I experienced that strong opposition to carrying out a certain task. The truth is that we have all been there, and we have all experienced it. When you are about to make that next move or write that new song or go to the gym, the feeling you get that stops you from carrying out that tasks, that is resistance. Resistance can come in various forms, sometimes so subtle you may not even realize that you are experiencing it. We often dismiss it as our minds or say things like, "I'm not in the mood" or "the time is not right." In your quest to overcome resistance, there is one crucial thing you must do first: acknowledge the resistance. It might sound funny, but trust me, to overcome resistance, you must first acknowledge that it exists. Most people always make excuses for not getting things done. They blame it on their body, time, or someone else. They shift the blame, therefore, willing away any power of control they would have had over the situation. Resistance is a game of the mind, and like any other game, to win, you first have to acknowledge that you are in the game. You can't win a game without being an actual player, right? I thought so too. If the mind is a battlefield, then in it is you against your opponent, resistance, contending for your mindscape, and the power to act on your dreams and goals. An obvious example is this: I'm sure you most likely have that friend who paid for a gym membership but has failed to hit the gym to lose some actual weight. Or the other friend who keeps watching motivational videos on YouTube but doesn't get motivated enough to act on his plans. Or perhaps, you might have found yourself purchasing several self-help books online, but you still haven't read any yet? Well, I'm glad you are reading this one. When you are conscious of resistance, you can fight for the dominance of your mind and live a more productive life. Chapter 2. The time is never always right. If you wait for the perfect conditions, you will never get anything done. Ecclesiastes 11:4. The concept of perfect timing has been a delusional thing that has plagued human minds for a long time. I know sometimes the moment feels just right. We have all had such experiences in our lives when the stars aligned and everything moved synchronously. Well, newsflash. Every moment is almost always the right moment. A shift in your concept of time will help you have full control of your actions. Time waits for no one. We have all heard this severally, but it becomes very evident when a person dies. When a person passes away, one thing is certain, and we realize it immediately: life goes on, the earth keeps spinning, people keep interacting with one another and carrying out their daily activities, night comes, and day follows. This is the certainty of life. Time respects no one. Why then do we choose to be patient with it? When you arm yourself with this mindset, you'll quickly realize how fast your mind begins to prioritize things according to their importance in your life. Suddenly, you will start participating in your daily activities with full consciousness of your time and its usage. You will no longer engage in activities that cannot justify the proper use of your time. The rich understand the concept of time and have mastered it by heart. This is why they pay almost everyone to get almost everything done for them. It is not necessarily because they wish to be generous, but because they know that paying someone else to do something they would have normally done will allow them to conserve their time and refocus it on productive activities that will help them generate more wealth. Resistance is a thief of time. You might say to yourself, "I'll do it later," and the next thing you realize, the day is almost over. Understanding that time literally waits for no one will help you move with speed when achieving your goals. Chapter 3. Presence of Mind. You probably have seen one of those sci-fi movies where robots or AI attain consciousness and become self-aware and capable of experiencing life like a human being. Sci-fi is one of my favorites, by the way. You see, right there and then, it is said that the AI has attained consciousness, it has developed a presence of mind. There's a lot to learn from such movies as humans, which leads me to this question: how well do you know yourself? How much presence of your mind have you attained? To overcome resistance, you must understand yourself well enough, your strength, your weakness, and even your fears. When we fail to act on our dreams and aspirations, it often stems from fear, and fear is a form of resistance. You can't make fear go away, it's always present, and it is part of human nature. However, you can suppress fear and use fear as a propelling force to achieve your goals. When you have full presence of mind, you can tell what causes your unwillingness to act. It's almost like you can search your mind to see what's wrong. How do you attain presence of mind? First, you must remain calm in every situation, separate yourself from the event and practice introspection. It is very easy to get distracted by what is going on around you or even become overly excited that you forget what you were onto in the first place. But when you separate yourself from the event, you are able to see what's happening around you as though in a third-person view. Separating yourself from the event will help you to easily detect when something or someone is trying to stray you off your course. Chapter 4. Develop a sense of urgency. Act now. This ought to be your motto on your way to success. Those who have a habit of overcoming resistance have mastered the act of creating a sense of urgency in their life. You can always do it tomorrow, of course, but if you have ever battled with resistance, you soon realize that tomorrow might quickly become next month. When you purposely place a sense of urgency on everything you do, you not only achieve more but will soon create a habit that will propel you towards your goal. Most times, when people get an idea, they begin to contemplate it, thinking about the possibilities of actually making it happen. At this point, the idea might start to look far-fetched and the goal unattainable. Before they know it, fear creeps in, and then they lose every form of motivation to act. The goal here is not to push to tomorrow what you can get done today. When you create a sense of urgency, you leave no room for negative thoughts to weigh you down from achieving your goals, and the urgency begins to act like a catalyst for the chain reaction of your ideas. Successful people love creating a sense of urgency. This is the singular skill that helps them accomplish so much in a day. They approach their goals like there's fire on the mountain or as though the world is about to end soon. A sense of urgency also helps to activate your mind's creative process. You begin to imagine several ways to accomplish that goal fast. There and then, ideas start to drop in your subconscious mind, and the world begins to assist you in getting things done. This mindset will help you escape the trap of thinking that you can get things done tomorrow. You see, because tomorrow is indefinite, it can be any day, but when you focus on getting things done today, only time and resources can slow you down. Chapter 5. Choose what you wish to experience. We live in a world where events occur in a mutually inclusive manner, so many human actions overlap at the same time, and there are so many things fighting for your attention all at once. All these have become more evident in our social media age. There's so much to choose from: your cable TV, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok, especially with the rise of influencers. There are so many juicy contents out there, enough to fill your whole day. I forgot to mention movies as well. In this era of social media, selectively choosing what you wish to experience without feeling like you are missing out on other things is very important on your road to productivity and greatness. Some people want to have a piece of all the action. They can't skip a single show on TV, and after the show has ended, they are on their phones engaging in social media content. If you fall into this category of people, you need to come to terms with one thing: to be successful in life, you need all the time you can afford. To push a dream, you need all your attention focused on that one thing. You have to selectively choose what you wish to experience. You can't experience all. If you try, then certainly, you will not have enough time left to develop yourself for greatness. There is a certain level of mastery you need to get to in order to engage your creativity effectively. To reach that level of mastery, you need all the time you can afford. You will need to cut down on every excess that steals valuable time from you. Don't get me wrong, entertainment is good and necessary to keep your brain excited enough to carry out creative tasks, but too much of it will deprive you of the time you need to develop yourself. Selectively choose what you wish to experience. After all, we only have 24 hours in a day, of which you still need some of those hours for sleep. The entertainment will go nowhere. When you are successful, you can always catch up, but I bet you, by then, you wouldn't even want to. The goal here is to selectively choose what you wish to experience without feeling like you are missing out on something else. Chapter 6. Just Do It. This is my first book. You can imagine, I have taken my own advice by taking the step to write and publish it. Trust me when I say there was a lot of resistance to creating this book. I once mustered the thought of writing a book, but then I overthought it and then dismissed the idea due to the popular opinion that you need to be an authority before you can even write a book, which is not true. Anybody can write a book. If I can, then certainly you too can. How did I overcome this resistance? Well, you have it right in the title of this chapter: Just Do It. Regardless of what you might be thinking or the odds stacked against your progress, just do it. After all, in the end, what really matters is whether you attempted your goals or not. That is the only thing that will truly matter, not the thought of your friend discouraging your idea or you thinking it's not going to work out. I believe that is why Nike used this statement as their motto, because there's so much propelling force around it. When you convince yourself to just do it without entertaining fear or doubt, you instantly break free of any form of resistance that would have hindered you from achieving that goal. No wonder it works. Create a culture of getting things done and following through with your plans. Your initial idea might not be what you eventually end up with. There might be some pivoting and experimentation, but you will most likely achieve your goals because you took the initiative to get started. Ideas wait for no one. It will surprise you that when you don't act on your ideas, moments later, you find out that someone else has made them a reality, and then you wonder, how is that even possible? Why not allow yourself to become the channel through which ideas enter our world and have them attributed to you as the creator? Don't sleep on it, just do it. Chapter 7. You are in control. Some people will their lives to circumstances. They rely on life events to shape the outcome of their lives, and how they view things. They have shifted their sense of control to probability and chance. Those with a reputation for getting things done have one thing in common: they all have succeeded in shifting the sense of control of their lives from circumstantial to intentional. To get things done your way, you have to be intentional about yourself and your actions by being accountable for every minute you spend throughout your day. If you cannot account for every minute you spend, you will not be able to efficiently allocate your time towards your success. Your time is your most valued asset. Honestly, you are in control. But your conscious awareness of this fundamental truth will shape how you make decisions and inevitably overcome resistance. Copyright 2022 by N. Consimon. All rights reserved.